Number 8, one of Gordon's and Nancy's greatest life adventures involved hiking the Appalachian Trail. And I should tell you the Appalachian Trail is roughly 2,190 miles long, from south to north, winding its way through Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and finally, Maine. But this is not how Gordon and Nancy approached and measured the Appalachian Trail. For Gordon and Nancy, every mile hiked was its own little victory. And I've got somebody I'd like to introduce you to here. You're going to have to help me with the pronunciation. What's the name? Shajulev. Okay, well, Shajulev is a little iconic figure that accompanied Gordon and Nancy during their exciting times hiking the Appalachian Trail. And it was iconic because it was a representation of the three granddaughters, Charlotte, Juliet, and Everly. And so the name of this little beast is a concatenation of the granddaughters' names. I thought that was great. And apparently, on occasion, Shajulev would represent better judgment coming through the granddaughters. What would the granddaughters tell Grandma and Grandpa about what they should be up to on the Appalachian Trail? So they had that going for them. But on October 26, 2016,
through June of 2017,
the primary purpose of their hiking was to help strengthen Gordon, his heart, and the vascular condition of his heart, which apparently helped. And then from February 2018 through May of 2018, Gordon served as the support team for Nancy as she endeavored to do even more hiking along the Appalachian Trail until she was interrupted with an unfortunate and abominable broken arm. But those were obviously talking about the history. They were special times for Gordon and Nancy. And sometimes there are just things in life we have to do. I heard that they were doing this with the old jalopy collection of vans, and I thought, I'm not so sure about that, but they had a lot of confidence in it. So God bless them for their exciting times on the Appalachian Trail.
This, face the camera, there you go. This is Shajulev, and she represents our grandchildren. And she goes with us and hangs out on my backpack. These videos are made for our grandchildren. We're sitting in our recliners at home, which was our favorite place at this point in our lives. And G says,
it's like the AT.
And I said, wow, really? I mean, are you really willing to work that hard as you would have to work with your cardiovascular disease to climb any mountain, much less these 1,000 and 2,000 and 3,000 foot inclines? And he said,
let's do it.
We bought gear for several months. We hiked and carried weight at the cemetery behind our house, you know, trying to, that had a little bit of a elevation change.
Yeah. A little bit. Emphasize a little bit there.
We'll show you a picture that confirms our commitment that we made to do this.
Had we seen any pictures of the approach trail?
No, they don't show you much in the way of what the trail's really like. That was a shock.
Yeah, so one video of G in the dark, or picture, and that's it on the approach trail. And you want to tell them why?
It was just too darn hard. Yes,
It was extremely
for
hard.
us.
Yeah, for us. There was no water on the trail,
Right, no water.
and the steps were a foot to 18 inches, rock boulder steps, would you
Yeah.
say?
Awful.
Up.
Yes.
That was our first hike at 7 o'clock at night on the approach trail. And the people below had tried to talk us into staying the night and wait until the morning, so especially knowing that our packs were way too heavy, and we knew they were too heavy, but we didn't realize, I mean, did we realize the significance?
No. Had no idea that it was going to be that significant. It was overwhelming, to say the least.
Number one, our packs didn't fit right. Number two, they were too heavy. And
Number 3, we were just slow.
definitely slow.
Glacial slow.
Very. So at that point, wisdom would have said, go back the next day, go back, reassess your gear and your weight, and then start over again. But
wisdom didn't buy a ticket for this ride.
no wisdom. And when we finally got back to the campsite, what time was it?
I don't know, around 2 in the morning, I think.
2 in the morning, and we both absolutely just died. And so wisdom would say the next day, because we crossed a road, go to the road and go on back. And again, reassess your weight. You're out of water. There is no water on this 8 miles. And what happened? Was wisdom there?
No, remember, wisdom missed the train.
So then I decided, this is all on me. G was mostly getting dehydrated and not thinking clearly, so I have to kind of take credit for these not so wise decisions. We left most of our gear there, and we both went to the road and walked, and we ended up and a couple of different shuttle drivers were very helpful on the phone who were busy, and then one who was gonna be busy but just hurried up and came and got us. And he took us to Springer, and you remember how he got us there?
It was over a wagon road, I think, carved out last century. I've never seen more ruts. I had to check my vitals when I got out, make sure everything was in the right place.
It was very bumpy, very, very bumpy. And so, I mean, what would you like to say about, the approach trail and the videos, and what did we learn? I mean, what did you learn?
Well, I've learned that one of the most valuable things on the trail is a 2-foot log on the uphill side of the trail, inclined 7 degrees from horizontal toward the uphill. It makes the perfect wilderness recliner.
Absolutely.
Gives you just enough angle where you can prop your backpack against it and lean back without falling over. The number 2 thing I've learned is that I am the slowest slowest person on the trail. I've been passed by toddlers, grandmothers, grandfathers,
people in their 80s.
infirm people with canes, There was even a snail that pulled alongside and wanted to race,
So
I turned him down. I thought I might lose.
just how slow are you?
Glacial. I am glacial, okay? But I'm persistent, just like a glacier.
Yes, he is. He is persistent. One of our goals is to get a lot of videos of the trail itself. And,
Lord knows there's plenty of time waiting on me, all right? Yeah.
Well, sometimes, yeah, it is waiting on him, but, uphill. But when we go downhill, oh, he leaves me in the dust.
It's a gravity thing.
After we got back, after the approach trail, and we were off trail, and we got me a new pack, and then we came back, came up the mile from the Springer Mountain parking lot up to the rock. And we sat on the rock, and you get to watch the intro, and what's going on there, G?
Reality sets in, okay? I realize that I am woefully unprepared for what's before me. You can't separate the state of fitness that you're in and how you're going to react to the trail. They are both really interdependent. The better shape you're in, the more you're going to enjoy it. And the worse shape you're in, really, it's going to be a chore. So, that being said, for me it was a chore.
And he was depressed.
Because it was a chore.
Absolutely.
Nancy and I are here at the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail on Springer Mountain, ready to head north.
What do you think so far?
Inhale.
What'd you think of the approach trail?
It's dry.
Go through a process that he has to go through every morning, I guess, pretty much before he starts hiking or as he starts hiking, and if you rest, right, for like 15, 20 minutes during the day. Is that correct?
That's right.
Is that all we get?
We only bought the basic package, okay? I will say this, for you people that want to come out and get a little AT experience, all right, drive up to the Springer parking lot. Do not take the road that we took, which was a wagon road, which I've already talked about. But if you just want to go up and kind of nibble at the cake, you know, a little bit and then go back home, well, here's a place to do it, all right? You can hike up to the top of Springer Mountain. It's about 400 feet, a lot of rocks, a lot of roots. Good workout.
1 mile.
1 mile. Come back down, a lot of rocks, a lot of roots. Hey, but you did it.
1 mile.
1 mile. And then you turn around, you go across the parking lot, and you hike the next section, okay? By far, probably one of the easier sections you'll ever encounter on the trail. It's wide, virtually no rocks, a couple of small streams. It's visually pleasant. You go through a nice forest with great tall trees, virtually no undergrowth, and it's beautiful.
Just keep in mind that for us, a section is about 3 miles.
Yeah. Okay, you may walk this in a couple hours and come back and then go eat lunch, all right? For us, it was an all-day trip.
Right.
And I felt good about it.
That is a good idea, though. Go hike, or just go hike the approach trail, and you can see what you're up against.
No approach trail. Need to not do the approach trail.
Any words of wisdom for anybody out there?
It's harder than you think it is.
Oh, tell them about the weight. Yeah, the weight. You understand that too much weight is not good.
Yeah, you understand that, but you really don't understand. You don't understand how significant it is. And once you've done 2 or 3 miles of this, you know why people sit around with scissors and trim the edges off of maps, okay? And cut their toothbrush in half and do extreme things like that. So weight is king, and getting rid of it is the #1 priority. And it should be viewed as the most important thing. You have to get rid of everything you can, but still keep what you need. But if at all possible, you buy the lightest and best gear you can.
Which means lots and lots of money.
Yeah, money.
As Steve Walker says, ounces are pounds and pounds are pain. So we really want to get rid of those painful
Get rid
pounds.
of the pain. Yes.
That's our story.
And we're sticking to it.
Definitely a pretty tough day. Would you say so, G?
Yeah, it was a tough day. A lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Got everything I had. Maybe a little more. So, glad it's over.
And we're thinking we might just take a rest day tomorrow, try to rebuild our strength, and then take on the Woody Gap to Neal Gap, which is going to be a couple of nights have to carry a good bit of food, and going to be a real test for us. Are we looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am.
All
I
right.
really want to do that. Good morning. Nancy and I are standing here atop Blood Mountain. It's been a beautiful morning, very inspiring, awe-inspiring. Clouds rolled in, kind of looked like a puffy quilt. Then they started clearing away, and you had all those beautiful golds and pinks and blues. It was magnificent. In fact, it reminds me of this scripture here in Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Standing up here looking at all this, you really get a sense of how special this planet, this earth really is, this creation of his. When you think of all the things that we know about space, which are very small indeed actually, but what we do know is that it's a very hostile and uninviting place. But when you stand up here and see all this creation from 4,400 feet, it's truly awe-inspiring. The diversity and the way that it all fits together and the beauty of it. I can't say enough about it. Words fail me, but it's truly magnificent.
I hear the sound of a mighty rushing wind, and it's closer now than it's ever been. I can almost hear the trumpet as Gabriel sounds the call at the midnight cry. We'll be going home when Jesus steps out on a cloud to call his children. The dead in Christ shall rise to meet him in the air. And then those that remain will be quickly changed. At the midnight cry, when Jesus comes again. I look around me, I see prophecies fulfilling and signs of the times. They're appearing everywhere. I can almost hear the Father and he says, son, go get your children. And at the midnight cry, the bride of Christ will rise when Jesus steps out on a cloud to call his children.
In our quest to bring you the perfect log for the trailer, this one right here that I've got my derriere parked upon is pretty close to perfect. Inclined off the horizontal, you know, at about 7 to 10 degrees. 18, 20 inches off the ground. It's really nice. Got a little curve on the end where it kind of makes a seat for you.